I'm Dr. Joe Esposito, and welcome to our podcast, For the Health of It, episode 33. Remember to subscribe to this podcast, and I'll help you naturally get well and stay well.
The information presented on this program is not intended to take the place of your personal physician's advice, and it is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease. Discuss this information with your own physician or healthcare provider to determine what is right for you.
Are you suffering needlessly? Dr. Joe can give you advice on how to naturally get well and stay well. Dr. Joe Esposito.
Hey folks, Dr. Joe here. So glad we can spend a little time together. And what we're going to talk about today is I'm going to teach you how to be your own doctor. How cool is that? This is a fun show. A lot of shows I get real serious, talk about real serious issues when it comes to healthcare, but these are going to teach you some things that you can do every single day to help yourself get well and stay well, because that's a big issue. Because with healthcare being what it is today, which is just insane, and insurance companies unfortunately dictating your health and your life because they decide somewhere that I don't want to pay for this. Well, based on what? I've gone up against insurance companies, and I'll say, listen, I have essentially 7 degrees. I'm board certified in chiropractic, orthopedics, pain management, double board certified in nutrition, BS in nutrition, retired dietitian, award-winning author. Tell me your qualifications and why you think you know why Sabrina should not be getting the treatment that I think she's getting. Well, we said so. That's our policy. Okay, so who made this policy? Our board of directors. Okay, what are their qualifications? I'm not at liberty to tell you that. So it's very, very frustrating when people, when someone you don't even know is dictating your health care. So I want to give you a lot of little tricks to help get well and stay well. And it's amazing what you're going to learn today. So it's kind of fun. And once again, if you want to listen to this or any other shows, they're on my website, drjoe.com. If you have Google Play, Stitcher, the other ones, I can't remember, the podcast companies, you want to look for the Health of It, which is the title of my first book, Eating Right for the Health of It. And those are our podcasts, and you can binge listen, and a lot of people do. And by the way, if you're binge listening, thank you. I do appreciate it. I'm always flattered when people say that. Dr. Joe, I've listened to all your shows. It's so great. So, all right, let's talk about first things you can do to help build up your immune system. Because the immune system is the thing that keeps you alive. If your immune system's weak, I mean, if there was a movie years ago, The Boy in a Bubble, was it John Travolta, I think it was? And his immune system in the movie was so weak that he had to live in basically a plastic enclosure, and that any little bacteria, virus, germ could kill him. Now, do these people really exist? Yes, they do. But there's things you can do to help build up your immune system. So a couple of things you want to stay away from. The number one food you want to stay away from when it comes to immune system issues is sugar. How many people eat sugar every day? Raise your hands. How many people eat sugar every meal? Raise your hands. A lot of you. I know you do. I want to eat it every meal too, by the way. I'm normal. I like sugar. But you can't do it if you want to keep a healthy immune system. And this is the thing I talk a lot about in winter. One of the lectures I do is surviving the holidays. And when do we eat the most sugar? Well, usually in the winter. We have breads and cookies and cakes and donuts and pastas and drinks and alcohol. And when is our immune system the weakest? In the winter. You're not getting your sunlight. The sunlight gives you vitamin D, and vitamin D is so important for the immune system. And so the time you're going to be sickest, that's when most people are sickest in the winter, is when they're eating the worst food, which is the sugars. So stay away from the sugar. Now, when I say sugar, breads, cookies, cakes, donuts, pastas, it's all sugar, folks. Sorry. So this is the cool part, though. I used to be a sugar junkie just like you. And as time passes and you start eating right and you start giving your body the right nutrients, your cravings will go away. Promise you. Now, it may take several months because we're such junkies. But if you start doing this right, you'll be fascinated to see what happens, that the cravings will start to go away and you'll start to feel so much better. And you're going to ask the question everyone asks, why didn't I do this sooner? Now, when it comes to immune system, sugar's the biggie, but I really want you to consider what I call the 7 deadly sins. 7 deadly sins are what I call alcohol, meat, sugar, dairy, coffee, soda, and artificial sweetener. Now, collectively, I know you all said, well, Dr. Joe, that's my whole diet. I know it's your whole diet because that's what most people eat. But you really need to shift out of that if your goal is to get well and stay well. If your goal is not to get well and stay well, that's okay too. I'm fine with that. It's your goal. It's your life. But I want everybody to be healthy, because the world would change so dramatically if we got people healthy. So, alcohol, meat, sugar, dairy, coffee, soda, and artificial sweetener. Years ago, I sat down with myself. I do a lot of this sit down with myself stuff. And I thought, what can I do? What kind of supplement could I take, or what herbs can I take to help if I ever get sick? So my first supplement ever that I ever created was called Dr. Joe's Super Tonic. Okay? and it's ginger, horseradish, cayenne pepper, onion, and garlic, pureed in an apple cider vinegar. Now, I used to make this in my kitchen, and I had one of those big, fancy blenders, and I throw in organic ginger and horseradish and cayenne pepper and onion, garlic, and apple cider vinegar, and I puree it up. And I puree it up into this slurry, kind of like pizza sauce would be a good example. Didn't have to be refrigerated because bacteria couldn't grow in there. And I left it there, and I would take about a tablespoon every day. And the first winter I did this, I had absolutely no colds, no flu, no nothing. It was just wonderful. I was really happy with it. But the problem was you stunk. But what I was doing is I was giving it to my patients. I'd put it in jars, and I'd give it to my patients, and they took it, and they just loved it. And the stuff's amazing. I give it to pilots when they flew a lot and flight attendants, but you stunk. And then I realized something. I can't be giving out food. I don't have a food license. So what I did is I now have it manufactured, and it's called Dr. Joe's Wellness Booster, a seasonal tonic. And we strain out the chunks of the puree and everything. Boy, I tell you what, though, if I feel a little cold coming on or a sickness, even if I have an infection somewhere, I'll take this seasonal tonic, and it's just amazing. It's just works great. It's antiviral, antibacterial, antifungal. It stimulates the immune system. So that's a little trick that you can do is you can get it on my website, drjoe.com. Then I thought, what can we do to keep the immune system strong? So I looked up, I did my research on the herbs, pau d'arco, olive leaf extract, echinacea, and I put together another liquid called Dr. Joe's Seasonal Tonic. And that's a liquid as well, and I take that every day in the winter. But avoiding the bad stuff is good, and then there are certain supplements you can take to help keep yourself healthy. Now, last year, the flu was really, really bad. And people were dying, and it was an epidemic, and it was going to be the end of the world, and blah, blah, blah. I never even had so much as a sniffle. Now, again, I don't eat a lot of bad foods. I get chiropractic care, which, by the way, is wonderful for the immune system. Studies done at Life University in Marietta, Georgia, show that we can stimulate white blood cell production by adjusting the spine. And when you adjust the spine, the white blood cell activity and numbers go up. Well, how cool is that? So most people think chiropractic is for neck pain, back pain, shoulder pain, but it's actually good for the immune system as well. So that's pretty cool. So when it comes to the immune system, not doing things like avoiding the alcohol, meat, sugar, dairy, coffee, soda, and artificial sweetener is important. And then doing certain things, eating a lot of raw foods, getting enzymes in your body. If you have an infection, enzymes are part of the body, part of the thing that gets in there and attacks the infection. Most of us, don't eat enough raw food. And if you're not eating raw food, you're eating cooked food. You're eating cooked food, your body has to produce its own enzymes. And so now eventually you put so much strain on the body, you can't keep up the load or demand for the enzymes, and it puts strain on your pancreas, your digestive system, and it becomes a big issue. So, excuse me, I got so excited there, swallowed my own spit there. Spit is an enzyme, salivary amylase. So raw food is going to help build up your enzyme stores, which is going to help keep your immune system strong and help fight off infection and disease. So I always say, as a rule, something raw at every meal. Now, when I say raw, broccoli, cucumbers, tomatoes, avocados, a salad. I have a salad at least once a day, sometimes twice a day. And boy, this is the thing. You're going to save so much money if you're eating a salad a day, because you can buy a big plastic clamshell, they're called, a big plastic container of organic lettuce, spring mix, for about $4 at certain stores. And I'll eat 6-7 salads sometimes out of that. Then I might add cucumbers in there, get my magnesium levels up. I'll add a nutritional yeast for B vitamins, other nutrients, amino acids, essential fatty acids. So nutritional yeast is awesome. If you don't know what it is, it's a powder. It kind of looks like powdered mashed potatoes. It has a real savory flavor to it. And here's the thing. When you get a craving for sugar, you want to eat something savory or salty. So if you have a salad with raw organic apple cider vinegar, maybe a little olive oil, some salt, maybe some pickles if you want to get crazy, nutritional yeast, you'll be fascinated how the cravings for sugar goes away. So you're eating something good and you're not eating something bad. So here you can be your own doctor. How do I deal with my sugar cravings? Eat something savory or salty. And a salad is perfect. The vinegar, salt is great. Little air-dried sea salt, of course, not table salt, not white table salt. Air-dried sea salt, nutritional yeast, blow your mind. It's pretty cool stuff. And then if you want to, and you're not around people a lot, you can add some garlic to your salad. Because garlic is, again, antibiotic, antiviral, antifungal. It's been shown to help lower bad cholesterol, helps with blood pressure. Garlic is the end-all, be-all. My grandmother, Grandma Esposito, We think she died at 94. She doesn't know when she was born because she was born in Italy in a house and she didn't know her birth, but we think it was the late 1800s. She ate garlic every day. 10 kids. Don't know if she had miscarriages or not. She never talked about that stuff. She was even overweight and arthritic, but she lived a very long life and her brain was fine all the way to the end. So one of the things we contribute that to is eating a lot of fruits and vegetables, nuts and seeds, and garlic. So garlic is going to be a fun thing for you to have. If you get garlic breath, being that we're talking about be your own doctor, you can eat parsley, just a big handful of parsley. Put it in your salad. There's an idea. Parsley has chlorophyll in it, and the chlorophyll can help neutralize the bad breath. And brushing your teeth is good, but if the garlic gets into your colon, the stink gets absorbed into your blood system, where it exchanges gases with your lungs, and that's why you get the garlic breath. So keeping a healthy digestive system is going to be key, and the chlorophyll will help as well. But there's other things we can do, like Dr. Joe's Immune Boost. Well, it's not Immune Boost, what's called Seasonal Tonic now. No, Wellness Booster. I got so many supplements. The Wellness Booster stimulates your immune system as well without the garlic. But garlic is going to be your friend. And try it. See, I think you'll be amazed at what happens. You can grow garlic, by the way. And if you're a farmer, you can take garlic cloves, not a bulb. I told a patient one time, I want you to eat 2 to 3 cloves of garlic a day. And he tried to eat 3 bulbs of garlic. Bulb is the big thing. He was not happy. He says, what are you, insane? I'm sick. I'm throwing up. I said, of course you are. I said cloves, not bulbs. But you can take a clove and just plant it around the outside of your garden. Make sure you put it with the pointy part up. And you can grow garlic, which will help keep bugs away too. So you grow your own garlic, keeps bugs away. Not a bad thing. Headaches. How many people have headaches? Raise your hands. A lot of you. I do sometimes. I have a chronic head injury. I got hit by a car, landed on my head when I was about 10 years old, and really messed up my neck. And thank God for chiropractic care. I don't know where I'd be if it wasn't for chiropractic care. It literally kept me alive. Because I remember before I started chiropractic care in my teens, I would get these blazing headaches every time I did any activity. If I go dancing, if I played football, if I played hockey, if I got in a fight, which was stupid, but I did. Blazing headaches. And when I finally got chiropractic care, it helped control it. But a couple of tricks you can do. And one thing is you can take a tub of hot water and put your feet in it. And what that's going to do is start drawing the blood away from your head and into your feet. And then you can put an ice pack across the back of your head. And that'll help bring down the swelling from your headache. There's also, if you have, many times headaches are a digestive issue. And here's what I want you to do. I'm going to teach you, I'm going way off my notes here. But if somebody has bad breath, it's usually due to 2 things. One, it comes from the mouth, and it might have a stinky smell, maybe an infection type smell, rotten teeth, and that's one smell. Other people have bad breath, and it smells like a toilet. And you've probably smelled it like that. It's like, man, they just smell like rotten breath. And that's rotten food in the colon. And as the food rots in the colon, like we said, the gases get absorbed into the colon, go into the blood exchanged in the lungs, and it comes out through the mouth. So if you know somebody who smells like potty mouth, you might want to slip them you don't have to tell them who it is, slip them a note and say, listen, you probably have a digestive issue. And 100% of the time, they're going to say, oh my gosh, yes, I'm constipated, I have diarrhea, I have acid reflux. And then we can get them on something called Dr. Joe's Intestinal Cleanser. The intestinal cleanser, it's on the website, drjoe.com, and it can push everything through the colon and help get everything pushed through. It kind of stimulates the bowels. But then that doesn't treat the cause, it just treats the symptom. You want to find out why their bowels aren't working. Could be a pinched nerve in the low back. As a chiropractor, or my team of doctors, chiropractors, we check the nerves in the low back that control the colon, sex organs, and bladder. And we've had patients already, even patients with learning disabilities, young children, where we adjust their low back and boom, the bowels let go. Adults too. They're like, Doc, I couldn't make it home. What'd you do to me? We open up the nerve supply in the low back to the colon, sex organs, and bladder, and then the bowels start to release. And a lot of waste products and toxins are passed out, and so that bad breath is a symptom. It's not the cause of the problem, it's a symptom. The digestive system is the problem. And it's really kind of cool when that happens because people get happy. Your bowels should move at least once a day, preferably 2 times a day. If it's not, it could be a pinched nerve, could be your stomach pushed up against your diaphragm, if the colon is spasmed, and I'm going to get to that in a little bit, the ileocecal valve massage. I'm going to cover that in a little bit for you, to how to stimulate your own bowels. But you can take supplements and eating more fiber. Fiber comes from plants. It doesn't come from animal products. Most of the bread and things that you eat that are processed, all the fiber is taken out. So eating raw fruits and vegetables, nuts and seeds is going to give you the fiber that you need because the colon is a tube. And when it fills up with content, we'll call it content, it stretches your colon, and you have something called stretch receptors in your colon. And as the stretch receptors are expanding, the colon starts to fill up. Eventually they say, all right, that's enough. I'm not going to stretch anymore. I'm going to contract. So by eating a lot of fiber, it causes the colon to fill up, the stretch receptors fire and push out the waste product. That's called going to the bathroom. But if you're all constipated because you're not eating a lot of fiber, the stretch receptors never get stimulated enough, and so the bowels don't work. So from a standpoint of health, you want to check the nerve supply in the low back. That's the nerve to the bowels. If you have acid reflux, heartburn, the stomach could be pushed up against the diaphragm. We may have to pull it back down. We want to get Dr. Joe's intestinal cleanser if you need it. That's on the website. Eating more fruits, vegetables, nuts, and seeds. And then making sure the fiber and the water, got to drink a lot of water to swell up that fiber so we can fire off those stretch receptors. So folks, in our office, if this is the first time you're joining us, you kind of tell what we do here is different. We talk about getting to the cause of your healthcare problems, not just treating the symptoms. So if you'd like to come see us in the Atlanta area, we have offices in Marietta, Duluth, and Stockbridge. We would love to be your doctors. I know we're talking today about be your own doctor, but we'd like to help you. There's certain things you can't do. So if you want to make an appointment, go to my website, drjoe.com, and you can set up an appointment online or give us a call. We accept people with insurances. We do file the insurance for you. Sometimes we're out of network. Sometimes the insurance company doesn't have all the doctors listed, like that's happened before. We're in network, but it's not listed. If you've ever been in a car accident, if the car was damaged, you were damaged 100% of the time. The car can't be damaged and you not be damaged. So if you want to make an appointment, we'd love to be your doctor. So stop suffering needlessly. Take an action step. Go to my website, drjoe.com. Set up a time to come see us so that you can start getting well. And again, the biggest complaint I ever get is, why didn't I do this sooner? Why did I suffer so long? And my answer is always, I don't know. I don't know why you did that, but you don't have to do that anymore. Stop suffering. It's for you, your friends, your family, and your children. drjoe.com. So we're talking today about be your own doctor. And a lot of the supplements, you hear me talk a lot about supplements. A lot of the supplements I created for myself. And then they became so popular, we now have them available to you. If you want to order the supplements, they're on my website, drjoe.com, also available on Amazon. So if you have an Amazon account, you can just order it right from there. And we are more than happy to ship it to you. If you want to come by and pick up the supplements, you can save shipping costs because we have them in all our offices. But we really want to get you on a good diet, and the supplements are just an easy way to introduce you into getting healthy. And if you're already healthy, you know you need supplements. I don't know anyone who doesn't need supplements. But Dr. Joe's Super Greens and Dr. Joe's Essential Source can help alkalize your system. Most of you are too acid, and we need to alkalize the body. And we do that by doing Dr. Joe's Super Greens, Dr. Joe's Essential Source. It's the minimum amount of nutrients you need every single day. I can't imagine not having it. I take it at least once a day. I just took it before I came on the air, as a matter of fact. I was looking for my jar. It's around here somewhere. And I just put it in a jar, shake it up with some coconut milk and almond milk. It's 2 powders. Drink it down. Tastes great. Amazing what happens. Now, if I have a big day, sometimes I have to record several shows in advance. Sometimes I have to travel around. I have to do live presentations. We may have a busy day at the office with a lot of patients. I may have to do radio and then television. I may have a hot date. Maybe going hiking. I'll take a double dose of Super Greens and Essential Source because it's really hard to overdose on this stuff. I mean, you can overdose on anything, but it's amazing when you take it how your body changes over time. And it may not happen the first day. Give your body a chance to build up the stores of nutrients that have been depleted for the past couple hundred years. And you'll be amazed. I don't know anybody who isn't when they take it. They just aren't thrilled with it at some point. It may take a while to build up. But we're talking today about be your own doctor, and taking supplements is a big part of being your own doctor. I talked about headaches, menstrual cramps. This is a neat one. I teach my doctors this. There's a point, and I wish I could show you. It's in your foot. And if you look at your feet, look down, see your feet. If you're driving, don't do this. See your feet? There's the ankle bones on the inside. It's a little bone. It's called the medial malleolus. If you go to that bone, you can do this when you have time, and drop down a little bit, kind of just drop off that bone. And you'll feel just a little toward the back of the foot, you'll feel a little ridge. And it would feel like a little cord. I'm trying to think what it might feel like. You'll feel it, though. And actually, just do this. Poke around, and you'll hit a sore spot. Easy enough. So go to the medial malleolus, the inner part of your ankle. drop down and go back a little bit and just poke around till you hit a sore spot. When you hit that, rub that spot pretty hard for about 30 seconds with your thumb. Then switch feet, do the other side. What that is, that's an acupressure point to the uterus. For men, it's the prostate. And by rubbing that point, it sends acupuncture energy up into that area. And it's amazing how many women over the years have done this. Once I teach them this, they love it. And they're like, oh my God, it's the greatest thing in the world because I can just get whatever I want to get rid of my cramps. Just rub the point. It's just that simple. And so that's a neat little trick. Now, the ruling is this. Don't ever do this to a pregnant woman because if you do, it can put her into labor. And we don't want to do that. So don't do that at all. Make sure you just do it on women who aren't in labor. Now, men, if you have a swollen prostate, you're having prostate issues, you can go ahead and rub that point too. And that's what's cool with acupuncture, acupressure points. When you poke around on the body, if you hit a sore spot, just rub it. It's going to do something. And you can look these up online now. It's like the old days, we used to have charts and everything. But if you find a sore spot in a muscle, just rub it out. And chances are it's going to stimulate some part of the immune system or the digestive system or some part of the body. And it helps it heal. If you have sore throat, you got to consider a hiatal hernia or acid reflux if you have a chronic sore throat. And I see this a lot with patients. They'll have a chronic cough, chronic sore throat. They'll come see us. We check their stomach, and sure enough, the stomach is pushed up against the diaphragm. And then we have to do is massage or adjust or pull the stomach down away from the diaphragm. My nose is itching, so excuse me for a second. There. If you hear this weird thing, if you listen on radio, if you're watching on TV, you see me itching my nose. But we pull the stomach down away from the diaphragm, and that stops the acid from coming up into the throat. Because granted, you get sick, you have a sore throat, 2-3 days, okay, it's no big deal. If it's intense and it's really hard to swallow, you might want to go get a throat culture done to make sure you don't have strep throat. So be careful with that. But if it's a chronic sore throat, you can try things like slippery elm tea. Slippery elm, E-L-M. And slippery elm tea is very soothing to the throat. Drinking hot fluids, very soothing to the throat. Dr. Joe's seasonal tonic is very good because there's ginger, horseradish, cayenne pepper, onion, and garlic, and that can help fight the infection locally. Now, if you have clogged sinuses, anybody like wasabi? You've had sushi with wasabi, right? What does wasabi do? It opens up your sinuses. So if you have clogged sinuses, instead of trying a medication, maybe try just a little bit of wasabi first. Take enough to make it, kick in. But you'll be, my nose is itching again. You'll be amazed what happens if you take the wasabi. Many times it just opens up your sinuses and lets you breathe again. So you're laying there at night, you can't breathe, your sinuses are all stuffed up. Try a little wasabi. Or horseradish works too. Wasabi is just a little stronger. Side note, the wasabi that you eat in Japanese restaurants is usually not real wasabi. Wasabi technically has to come from a certain area of China? I think it was China. From a certain type of horseradish. We call it wasabi just like we call bubbly wine champagne. Champagne technically has to come from Champagne, France, the Champagne region. Otherwise, it's sparkling wine. Wasabi, it's fine. It's a horseradish, but it's not truly wasabi. I've never had it, but some people have had it, say, oh my gosh, you'll be amazed. It's such a different flavor. But that's a useless trivia fact. Maybe you'll use that at a bar one night and win a drink of seltzer when you win your bet, of course. Honey, garlic, and pepper. That's why the Dr. Joe Seasonal Tonic works well. The pepper increase circulation to the area and help wipe out infections. And the honey can actually soothe your throat a little bit. If you're going to do honey, gosh, got so much to talk about it. I may have to do a second one of these shows. This is a good one. If you're going to do honey, make sure it's wild or it's locally grown, because many times other countries will sell honey and they'll sell it to a third-party distributor, and then they'll sell it to the United States, and it really isn't honey. It's high fructose corn syrup, sugary water. Or they'll mix a little bit of honey with high fructose corn syrup. And what they do is they'll filter it. And they'll filter out all the pollen that's in the honey, because if there's pollen, they can trace it back to where it came from. So some countries who may not trade with the United States or doing things nefariously will create this junk honey and then sell it to us. And so that's why I want you to do local honey if you can. And it should be cloudy. It should be dark. It should have stuff floating around in it. That's a better honey. If it's clear, you hold it up to the light. Oh my God, it's clear and yellow. Look at this beautiful amber color. Chances are it's junk. So you can be your own shopper along with being your own doctor, which is what we're talking about today. All right, going to have to go to a break. When we come back, back pain, digestive problems, miscellaneous things, how to get energy without drinking coffee, how to get fresh breath. A little trick that I've been using for years that'll give you fresh breath without the dangers of artificial sweeteners and sugars, and it smells really cool. I'm going to tell you how to do that in a second. Now, folks, if you want to come see us, we have chiropractic offices in Marietta, Duluth, and Stockbridge in the Atlanta area. We would love to be your doctor. If you like this show, imagine you being treated by us and working on all these fun, different aspects of health for you. So if you have neck pain, back pain, shoulder pain, numbness, tingling, muscle weakness, headaches, digestive issues, acid reflux, we would love the opportunity to help get you well and keep you well. So if you want to make an appointment, do it now. Stop suffering. Go to my website, drjoe.com, and we'll set you up a time as soon as possible. Bring your friends, your family, and your children. Children that start out healthy, stay healthy. And if you're ever in a car accident, if the car was damaged, you were damaged, you need to come see us. We'll talk to you soon. Thanks for listening to For the Health of It. Remember to subscribe to this podcast, and I'll help you naturally get well and stay well. You can also listen to and call into my radio show live Sunday evenings from 7 to 9 Eastern Time on WSBRadio.com and on a WSB Radio app.